Festival.
We've developed a gothic set.
Yes, we're like so theatrical right now. So, day 3 kicked off with a talk by Johnny Walker, who was here last year to talk about the video nasties. This time, he talked about British contemporary horror cinema. And I thought it was fantastic, the talk. It was really, really interesting. There was a bit of a historical context. We looked at contemporary British horror from the 70s, the decline of Hammer, and then went on to the 1980s when you had things like Hellraiser. And the bit that amused me the most was that film Dream Demon.
You're going to watch that, right?
I'm going to watch it, but at some stage, Timothy Spall and Jimmy Nail were in a film that was an evident rip-off, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And part of me was angry watching this, but like seeing this trailer thinking, oh, you're such a rip-off. But it's one of those things I think I could sit through. Maybe a few of you knows, but we'll see. And then we talked mostly then about the present day of horror from 2000 onwards, and there were so many films he discussed that I haven't even heard of, so...
Yeah, I think that was a main thing of the talk, was that there are now so many videos and DVDs appearing on demand online, not necessarily having a physical release, so they get quite difficult to find, but there's so much out there with technology.
Yep, and then things sort of went on to discuss about the sort of boom in television production with horror now, how that's becoming more of a thing like it was after like Hammer House of Horror in the 80s, and that's obviously got a revival now because there's TV shows of everything. I mean, there's Hannibal, for example. That's just one example.
That's just the best one, so, you know. Following on from that, we had...
the short film competition. So what was your favourite short, would you say, out of the 10 that was shown?
I really liked Juliet. I know it was very similar to Humans, but I thought it was quite well done in the way that it dealt with things very, very quickly. And also the last one with the William Blake painting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
With the big beast. Yes. I liked that painting, I thought it was quite effective.
William Blake's paintings are great, yeah.
And then there was also my favourite, Sanguine Craving, which was
really good.
It was just played as a metaphor for coming out, and I just thought it was done so well, and it was like a dad trying to give a rite of passage to his son, like to be the most brutal serial killer of women ever to have lived, but obviously his son has other ideas, so it was really well executed.
Yeah, really nice, witty, very funny. Yeah.
Following on from that, we had a Vietnamese film called Hollow. And it was a bit of a ghosty one, and I'm quite a big fan of Asian horror ghosty films most of the time, but this one kind of went a bit convoluted, I found, in the story.
Yeah, it sort of, it would have worked had there been like 1 or 2 less elements involved, I think is the key thing. I wanted to like it, I couldn't really give my all to it.
Yeah, it was just something that it just went on and on and on, and the CGI was a little bit rubbish, I thought.
Yeah. But following on from that, there was Deadman Inferno. Whenever you hear the words Japanese comedy in terms of horror, you know, you kind of expect a big splatterific, kind of quite cheesy, nonsensical kind of thing.
And jokes that go on and on and on and don't know when to stop. And then you've got some weird creature like going like that or something.
Yeah.
A load of bloodshed.
Or a frog on a bicycle. But yeah, the Deadman Inferno was very, very different in terms of Japanese horror. It played out more like a conventional American indie movie in terms of its humour, in terms of what it did. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wasn't as sold on it. It had its moments, but for me it wasn't like my favourite. I think Yesterday for me was very underwhelming in terms of the films. But then we had the pub quiz, and oh my god, believe it or not, Team Ghostface came second for the first time ever.
Yes, we've never even been in the top 3 before, so yeah.
So, second place, I mean, you can't get any better than that. Well, you can if you get first, but we'll aim for that next year.
But we got the Lord Summer Ale, so...
We did, we won a case of Lord Summer Ale, which we shared out between ourselves and our little minions on our
minions. And the last event of the night was the final episodes of Danger 5 Season 2. And Taka is the best character I think I've ever seen, and I would like them to do more, but I don't think they will.
So you don't think it's going to get commissioned?
They're not doing a 3rd season, no.
Oh.
They did debut a little something they've been working on called Computer Man, though, which was sort of a riff on point-and-click games. And it was really good fun.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that if they're going to end Danger 5, but it'll be interesting to see what Dario and David do next.
Definitely. You've been watching Ghostface Girls from Abertoir 2015. Thank you for watching.